Good morning, Meg. Did you have some time to think about the matter we talked over yesterday?
Yeah, Todd, but since this just came up so suddenly, I'm sorry, but I haven't made up my mind yet.
Was it such a tough decision to make?
Well, yeah, I suppose it is tough for me to decide now. Because you suddenly asked me to live with your parents when we just went to meet them to say we were getting married. I didn't expect that we would live with them so soon right after we got married. So I guess I do need more time to think and become ready for that situation. And since this is such an important matter, I really wish you could have told me about this much earlier before we met your parents. Because, this was actually the first time we met your parents, Todd, so I didn't expect the discussion about living together would be brought up so suddenly.
Hey, I think you're taking this matter too seriously. Like I said to you yesterday, it's not like we have to continue to live with them forever, you know? My parents are saying that they are planning to go to a nursing home in the future. So, we just need to live with them until we save enough money to buy a house by ourselves.
Can't we save up money just by renting a house, living on our own?
But then we'll have to continue to pay rent, and will take us even more time to save enough money.
But even if we live at your parents' house, it will still cost us living expenses, right? Don't tell me you're just planning to pay only the food and utility expenses while living with your parents.
I know, but even so, you know that it's going to be much cheaper than paying rent.
I'm sorry that I couldn't say this to you clearly yesterday because we were sitting right in front of your parents, but I want you to understand how I actually feel about this. Honestly, I don't think I want to live with your parents.
Huh? Why is that?
Because if we do, then I will always have to be concerned about them. I really appreciate the situation that they're welcoming me as a family, but this is just too sudden and difficult for me to accept now.
Well, actually, I don't think so. Meg, I do think you will get along with my parents very well without any problems. So there's nothing you need to worry about. Or does that mean that you actually don't want to live with them? Was there anything wrong about my family that makes you think so?
No, it's not like that, but living together with your parents is actually a really big matter to me. Todd, try thinking of being in my shoes. Would you actually be able to live with my parents in a situation like this so suddenly?
Yeah, if your parents are willing to, I guess I can. But your parents' house is actually far away. That's obviously going to be impossible, though.
Can't you reconsider this? Isn't it possible to think of not living together with them?
Well, since my parents are actually pretty positive about living with you, and since I've caused so much trouble to my parents in the past, I do wish to make up for that by living together, staying close by and supporting them, and hope to give back to my parents for what they have done for me.
But even if we don't actually live with them, can't we just find a place to rent nearby your parents' house and live separately?
You see, Meg, when I was in school, I was out all the time and barely came back home to spend time with my family. So I just want to make up for that. I want to live with them for a couple of years. Of course, if you say that it's impossible after you try living with them, then we can find a place to live separately. So can't you at least try this once for me? Hey Meg, please. And I'll try not to cause you trouble as much as possible. I'll even try to make some private time for you so you can relax, Meg. My father will probably be out all day working. And it's not like my mother is at home every day. And my grandmother doesn't come out of her room either. So I assume you will be able to have some time on your own.
What? Your grandmother is living with your parents too?
Oh, didn't I mention that to you?
No. I haven't heard about your grandmother living with your parents.
Well, it's like she isn't there at all. Since she barely moves around, you can just think of her as one of those figurines.
Hey, I'm sorry. As I said, I needed more time to think about this. Because as I actually discussed this with my parents, they said that they couldn't completely agree on living together with your parents.
Well, I think your opinion is more important than your parents' ideas. Or is it that you just don't want to marry me? You know we agreed to get married right after we met our parents in the first place.
No, don't get this wrong, Todd. It's not like I don't want to get married to you. It's just that I don't think marriage and living together with your parents would come as a set.
Well, it's a surprise to me that you actually didn't want to live with my parents.
No, I'm not saying that I don't want to live with your parents. I just think there are certain procedures and the right timing for this.
Well, I'm sorry, Meg. I guess I was just thoughtless about this. I should have thought about how you might feel before asking you directly in front of my parents. But I actually don't think this is a bad situation for both of us. Because by doing so, we We can save up our money and also live in a bigger home than renting some place.
Yeah, of course I understand your point. So if you can give me some time, I'll try to think about this a little more. Well then, I'll contact you again later. Hello, Meg. This is Todd's mother, Anne. Todd told me your contact. I'm sorry to contact you so suddenly, but since we're going to be in a long relationship from now on, I hope you can save my contact. Hello, Anne. Thank you for contacting me. I really appreciate you welcoming me into your family. Sure, of course. We're so happy that you will be joining our family. But about that, Meg, please let me apologize first. I'm so sorry about the conversation we had the other day. You were probably so surprised when Todd suddenly talked about living together, right? I did warn Todd about that after that conversation. What? Because I do understand that no newlyweds would want to live together with their parents right after they got married, so I'm really sorry. That was a thoughtless thing to say. No, please don't apologize at all. I was just a bit surprised, that's all. As it was Todd's idea, as his mother, I was happy that he offered to do that, but honestly, I do understand your feelings as a daughter-in-law coming into our family. I absolutely know it's not an easy decision to make. And I heard from Todd that your marriage is now being postponed for a while. I assume that's all because of the matter of living together with us, right? I'm just so concerned about that, because I wouldn't want this matter to get in the way of your marriage. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not like I'm saying that I don't want to live together with your family, but I was just a bit concerned that he didn't try to consult with me before all of this. Yeah, I totally understand how you may feel about this, but as you may know, Todd is pretty persistent about his ideas and is not the type that easily changes what he decides. So to follow his idea, why don't we try cooperating with each other, doing it this way? First, why don't we try living together at our house and then live separately soon after that? What does that mean? If we live together just for a while, I'm sure Todd will probably be satisfied about what he's been longing to do for us. So after we live together for just a little while, then you can go ahead and rent a place and move out with Todd soon after that. Because of course we also don't assume that you will be willing to live with us forever, so how about us supporting you two to live separately when the time comes? Do you think Todd will actually agree to that and be satisfied by living together in such a short period of time? Don't worry, everything's going to be fine, so just leave it all up to us. We should just say that we get too considerate about ourselves living together with each other, or the house feels smaller since you two moved in. Just continue to make up reasons that this will not work so you two can move out and live separately from us. If it's a reason that arises after we tried living together, I don't think Todd will actually be able to say anything to that and will finally give up. Well, that may be true, but I'll just be sad if you and Todd break up by a matter like this. So why don't we cooperate with each other and get through this situation? Don't worry, I'll make sure you'll be able to move out of our house and live separately by the time you have the wedding ceremony. Well, I appreciate you for thinking this through. Thank you so much for being considerate and supportive to me. No, that's not a problem at all. Because we're really happy that Todd has finally found a girl he wants to marry, so I just wanted to help out and do what's best for Todd and you. Honestly, I still don't know much about you, but I do believe you are a nice person, and I've heard so many other good things about you from Todd. Like I heard that you're really good at housework, and he said that your cooking is even at a professional level. No, Todd is just exaggerating. It's just that I like to cook things, and it's one of my hobbies. That is so wonderful to have cooking as a hobby. Oh, that's right. Actually, I'd like to ask you, would you be able to teach me how to cook when you live with us? Because honestly, I've never been good at cooking and really need to work on that. Todd and my husband always complain about my cooking. So it would be great if you can teach me some tips about cooking and introduce me to some good recipes. Sure, if it's okay with you, I can help out with cooking. But it's not like I actually make any gourmet dishes. They're all just very simple homemade dishes and nothing really special. No, I would love that, and I definitely know that you must be better at cooking than I am. Well then, I hope this conversation helped out changing your mind towards joining our family. So would you be able to think about living together with us more positively now? Yes. I guess I was getting worried about this marriage, but I feel a little relieved by now talking to you. Thank you for caring about me and reaching out. I'm really glad that I was able to talk to you. Well, I'm also glad you feel that way now. I know Todd may seem a bit foolish sometimes, but please don't leave him, okay? Because he really wishes to get married to you, so I hope you understand and continue to stay by his side. I really think you two are meant to be together. Well then, I'll be waiting to hear good news from Todd.
Hey Meg, I just saw your text. You really agreed to live with my parents, right?
Yeah, I did think this through, and I just thought that maybe we can give this a try and see how this goes with your family.
Really? Thanks, Meg. My parents are really happy about this too. Because they seem to really like you, Meg.
I really appreciate them welcoming me into your family, but I hope I don't let them down when we actually live together. And Todd, by saying things like I'm good at cooking, you did raise the bar too high for me, didn't you? I'm actually feeling a lot of pressure about that. I hope I can meet their expectations.
But it's actually the truth, isn't it? Meg, honestly, I've never met anyone that can do household chores perfectly as you. And in addition, you're such a good cook.
Well, I do appreciate you saying that to me, but you know people have different tastes, and I'm not sure if your family will enjoy my dishes as you do.
Oh, that's no problem at all. Because if I like your cooking, then my mother and father would definitely be satisfied with it too. I'm so confident about that. So, when do you plan to move into our house?
But first, we have to process our marriage registration, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm just so excited I got carried away. So, when should we process the registration? At first, I know we were thinking of getting married right after we met our parents, so I'm ready to get married anytime, like even now. Meg, you're not particular about exact dates, are you?
Well, no, I'm not particular about that, but I guess it will be better if we choose one of the luckiest days on the calendar. Let me see. So, how about the 9th of next month?
But that's like 1 month from now. And unfortunately, I'm going on a business trip on that date, so I won't be in town.
Yeah, I know that you have business plans. So I was thinking of going ahead to process the registration on my own without you. And you know that we have to start preparing for moving, right? Like packing our stuff and letting the landlord know that we're leaving and stop paying the rent. Todd, you have to do all of that too on your end, you know.
Actually, I've already left my house and just moved into my parents' house now.
What? Really?
Yeah, because I thought that we'll start living with my parents right after we get married anyway.
But I didn't know that you had already moved into your parents' house this early. I'm just so surprised. Why didn't you tell this to me before?
Oh, I'm so sorry that I forgot to tell you about that. But as a result, this turned out just fine as I expected.
Even if it's an obvious matter for you, things are considered important to me. So I want you to promise to tell me these important things in advance. What were you actually going to do if I didn't agree to living with your parents after all?
Well, I was always believing in you, Meg. But I guess I had no doubt about this. I really appreciate you agreeing to this marriage and living together with my parents. I know that wasn't an easy decision for you. I promise that I will love you all through my life, Meg. Mom! Yes! We did it! She finally processed the marriage registration. So we're gonna have a personal housekeeper joining our family from tomorrow. So don't hesitate to use her as you wish, because I'm sure she'll basically do anything for us.
Huh? That's absolutely not happening because I'm not going, you fool!
What?
Because we're not even married in the first place, and just remember, I'm never going to live with your parents anyway, so why don't you just forget about everything?
Huh? What's wrong?
Don't you realize yet? Look, you have the wrong contact, you know.
What? Is that you, Meg?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no. Meg, wait. You just need to forget what I just said. Well, that's strange.
What are you saying that I should actually forget about?
Meg, I'm so sorry. It seems that the text sent to you was just a joke sent from my colleague.
Huh?
He's actually together with me on this business trip, but since I was so happy about getting married, he just suddenly took away my smartphone from me. I'm so sorry, But can you forgive me for what he has done? I know this must have disappointed you. I will definitely warn my colleague about that.
No, that's all right, because you're just lying. Since I know you're not with your colleague now.
No, he really is with me. You need to believe me. Or should I have him call you later to apologize to you directly?
That's enough. Could you just stop all of this? I'm saying that I don't need any more excuses from you. Oh, I can't believe you were such a jerk. I feel really stupid to have thought of marrying you even once.
But you did get married to me, right?
Weren't you listening to what I said before? I said I'm not married to you because I haven't processed the marriage papers yet.
What? Why haven't you? You just said that you did a while ago, right? I thought everything was taken care of and we were now officially married.
Well, that was actually a lie.
What? A lie? Why did you have to lie to me like that?
Because you are the one who started all of this and was trying to go through a marriage full of lies. Like suddenly bringing up the matter of living together with your parents? And saying that you'll love me forever while betraying me by having an affair? Now I know that everything was just a lie.
What? Well, I didn't think I actually had to tell you about living together with my parents in advance. And for your information, I'm not having an affair.
I know you're with your partner right in the middle of having an affair now, so don't try making any excuses.
What?
The reason why I decided to process the marriage papers today on this date is because I knew that you were going on this business trip. You had business trips every month, but you were always spending a few days with her enjoying your affair, right?
No, that's not true.
No, it's absolutely true. I already have taken pictures of you two together.
What?
So it's just useless looking around now trying to find me, okay? Because I've already hired someone to investigate and follow you. So can you just give up because I already have evidence?
Hey, wait, Meg. You need to believe me. This is not true. This is all a misunderstanding.
You've been repeatedly saying that this is not true, but actually nothing is a mistake, and unfortunately, everything is the truth. So it's completely useless making any further excuses.
Meg, I need you to calm down and listen to what I'm saying. You got this all wrong. You see, I'm not having an affair with the person I'm seeing now. She's just a friend from the past, and believe me, we're not in that kind of relationship.
If that's so, then did you have to go all the way and lie that you're going on a business trip when you're just meeting a friend? And I don't think you'll hug a friend so tightly. Actually, as I was still considering living with your parents, my parents had your family investigated as well. Though I do feel awful doing that without getting any permission from you. But that's when I found out that you were actually having an affair with her. And another surprise that you've never mentioned to me, but we found out that you actually have a sister in your family too.
Oh, so you've investigated that far about us. Well then, after knowing all this, why did you say you were going to marry me anyway?
Because in the previous investigation, we still didn't have actual pictures of your partner yet. With this actual evidence, I was waiting for this moment to tell you that I wanted to break this engagement off on the first day I move in.
But you need to understand. Basically, this is all my mother's fault.
Huh?
Because my mother didn't do any of the household chores in the past. And my sister was always the one actually doing it. As my sister moved out and ran away, my mother started demanding me to do it. And told me that if I didn't want to do it any further, I need to find a wife who can handle all this.
So that's why your mother sent the text to me as if she was supporting you and concerned about me. And you just didn't want to let your partner do the chores. Since you were going to make me sacrifice doing the chores for your family, right?
But even so, I was still planning to marry you and work this out. I was thinking of just spending a few days with her, but would go back home to live with you for the rest of the week. So other than that, I really don't mind what you do at all. So please, can you please consider coming to our house?
Well, what kind of proposal is that? Are you out of your mind? You know that nobody will say yes in that kind of situation. I know you're just trying to make me a housekeeper and nurse your grandmother once we live together, right? How can I say yes to that kind of situation?
I promise that I'll never make you poor.
Thanks for caring, but I think I'm better off living by myself. I thought that you were a jerk knowing you had an affair, but I didn't think you were this helpless and pathetic. Just remember that I will definitely ask for consolation money for the break-off of this engagement. And I will definitely tell your mother about the partner you're having an affair with.
Hey, wait, Meg! I really don't want you to tell my mother about my partner. Please, Meg. Because if my mother knows about this, she's definitely going to ask me to bring her to our house.
Yeah, I guess she will. But I really don't care what happens to you anyway. It's all your fault trying to make me do things for you and your family. But I actually do feel sorry for your partner. Because she's the one who's going to have to make up for this, being your family's personal housewife and work like a slave. After that, as I had to tell Todd's parents about his affair and finally break off the engagement, I was able to receive the consolation money for all of this from Todd. And as expected, Todd's mother immediately went over to his partner's house and they got married the next month, right after I broke off the engagement with him. As his wife started living with his parents, doing all the household chores and nursing, she couldn't put up with the bullying from Todd's mother, and it seems that they eventually got divorced within just a year. After their divorce, losing both his wife and housekeeper at once, Todd was doing all the chores and nursing his grandmother by himself like he used to again. But as he also reached his limits, constantly doing everything for his family, he just got so angry that he hit his mother and eventually got arrested by the police for violence. I do understand that Todd may have also been a victim of this as well, being controlled by his mother all through this time. But I can never empathize with him as he was trying to make me go through all of that in place of him, and can never forgive his betrayal for also having an affair while we were actually engaged. However, as he is living his life being separated from his mother now, I do wish he will at least regret and realize the horrible things he's done to me in the past. As he did continue to say that he will love me forever up until the day we were supposed to get married. Honestly, I was so shocked and really disappointed to hear about the unrevealed facts that my parents had investigated about Todd and his family. But I'm so relieved now that I was able to realize Todd's true self and his family situation before I actually got married. Just the thought of going through that marriage in that situation, it definitely would have been a terrible nightmare for me. I'm glad that I was able to avoid the marriage before the situation became worse. So I really appreciate my parents for investigating about Todd and his family and supporting me throughout this tragedy. After going through this incident, although I can't think of getting into a serious relationship now or the idea of getting married at all, I do realize that there are more special joys in life than just love, relationships, and marriage. Just spending some quality time with my precious family and friends are things that make me truly happy. I may not have realized this if I had gotten married to Todd, so I guess that's one thing I'm thankful for now. Anyway, I just want to continue to cherish my happiness I have now and slowly try healing my broken heart, hoping there's a future full of happiness waiting for me ahead. Thank you for watching Peep Talk videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to leave any comments. Please visit us again to check out the next video.
That's it. I can't take it anymore. I'm sick and tired of living in our crappy old apartment. I want a house, Lisa. A house of our own.
Rick, are you alright? What brought this on all of a sudden?
One of my subordinates was talking in the break room just now. He was bragging about the house that he and his wife are building, showing everyone concept pictures from the architects and everything. Who does he think he is? He's 10 years younger than me.
Well, buying his own house at that age? That's impressive. It seems to me like most young people these days are giving up on ever owning a home.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. He's not even doing it with his own money. There's no way he'd be able to afford it on his pathetic salary.
You sure about that? Where do you suppose the money is coming from then?
From his parents. They didn't even have to buy a plot of land. They're giving him the land where his grandfather's house was. It's not fair. Why couldn't I have been born in a family with money and land to throw around like that?
Yeah, he does seem like he was given plenty of advantages from birth. That's not all that many people out there like that these days, though.
It's not even about the money. I'm not really concerned about that. All I want is a house. A place to live that I can call mine. I mean, renting at our age? It's just plain embarrassing.
Really? I don't think it's embarrassing at all. In this city, I'll bet even the most of the wealthier people are renting apartments rather than owning a house.
You might not think much of it, but it's humiliating to me. I'm not getting any younger, so I want to buy a house that I can retire in. I mean, even my subordinate has a house, but I don't? What kind of boss is in a worse financial position than his subordinates? You should have heard the way he was talking when he was telling everyone about his house. And he kept giving me this look like, yeah, you see this? I'm buying a house, but you are. You're such a loser.
Okay now, Rick. I think you're reading a bit too much into this. I'll bet he's far too busy being happy for himself to think so negatively of you.
In any case, we're gonna buy a house.
I don't know, Rick.
You got a bunch of money in savings, right?
Well, yeah, but, Rick, we've never even talked about buying a house up until now.
You got more than enough to buy a house. I know you do. Please, Lisa. You'll do this for me, right?
Wait, you want me to cover it with my savings? Why don't we get a loan like most people do?
But why would we borrow money and have to keep making payments for 30 years when we could just buy it outright? You're self-employed, so who knows how things are going to go for you in the future? Plus, with a loan, there's interest, fees, that sort of thing.
Well, yes, you are right about how much savings I have, but I was planning on using that to support us in our retirement.
We're not that old yet. We can still afford to think about the present. And have you heard about the real estate market around here? All the analysts are saying that prices are going to go way up over the next decade. If we don't buy now, we might never be able to afford it. Doesn't have to be a huge mansion. Just enough space for us is fine.
But you were saying that you wanted to build a new house, right? That's pretty expensive. I think we'd be better off finding a used home that's inexpensive and in good condition.
You think so? Okay, well I guess it doesn't matter that much to me either way. I just want a house, that's all.
Alright, well, for now, how about we go and talk to a realtor to see what kind of options are out there? There might be some open houses in the area coming up.
And if we find one we like, you'll buy it for me?
If we find the perfect house that's in good condition for a reasonable price, then yes, okay. The more I think about it, I suppose it might be good timing for us to get a house of our own.
Yes! Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm gonna go look for open houses in the area right now. I'm so excited. I'm finally gonna own my own house.
Remember, we're only buying a house that fits inside our budget, okay? Buying a house isn't like shopping for clothes. We need to be very deliberate about this.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna cut down on watching TV and use that time to look for a house.
I'm still kind of uneasy about emptying my savings account, though.
We have our own house, though. We don't have to pay any rent. You'll be able to save that money back up in no time. I'll even put in some extra hours at work from time to time.
I think the more pressing issue is to control our spending. More specifically, your spending. We've talked about your spending habits before, Rick. You waste an awful lot of money. Earning more money is great, but it won't mean a thing if you spend it all right away.
Don't worry, you can count on me. The big day's finally here. We're moving tomorrow. And when I wake up the next morning, it's gonna be in the house of my very own. The dream come true.
We still aren't even close to being ready for the move, though. We're gonna have to stay up all night boxing stuff up at this rate.
Ah, speaking of tonight, I'm going out for drinks with my coworkers, so I'll be home a bit late. Be sure to get as much done as you can while I'm out.
What? Rick, we're moving tomorrow. We don't have time to be going out drinking. And, by the way, most of the stuff that hasn't been boxed up yet is your stuff. Like, what am I supposed to do with all these action figures of yours? I don't know how to package these.
Sorry, Lisa, but my immediate superior invited us out. I can't say no. Don't worry, though. I'll get home as soon as I can.
This is unbelievable. Why are you throwing all of this on me, Rick? You were the one who insisted that we buy a house, but I'm the one that had to do all the work.
Huh? What else have you done besides pack?
Are you serious? Everything! Including looking through listings, which you explicitly said you were going to do. About the only thing you did was come along to an open house or two. Every single step of the way, from talking to the realtor to packing up our stuff, I've been completely on my own.
I was busy with work, though.
Okay, meanwhile, I had to take paid leave in order to do everything. So you don't get to use your work as an excuse.
Whoa there, Lisa. What's up with this massive mood swing? Are you going through menopause or something?
You caused nothing but trouble for the realtor, too. I lost track of how many times you changed your mind at the last minute.
Did I really?
Yes, you did. I would find a house and show it to you. You would say you love it. Then, right as we were about to sign the contract, you found something you didn't like about it, and we had to start from scratch. You're so indecisive, Rick. That realtor is a practical saint for being patient enough to deal with you.
It's their job to deal with people like me. A house is the most expensive thing most people will ever purchase in their lives. It's only natural for people to be picky and change their mind a couple of times.
We're not talking about finding some minor detail that turns you off about a place. We're talking about you doing a full 180 within a single day. Like, do you have amnesia or something? In the morning, you say, I want a big backyard. Then in the evening, you'd be like, I don't want to have to mow the lawn every other week.
Hey, we picked out a great house in the end, didn't we? It's in a nice, safe area with a lot of other new houses around it. It was really cheap for being just a few years old.
Yeah, I do have to admit that we got a pretty good deal on it. I'm glad we decided to buy a house rather than build a new one.
You see? You're satisfied, I'm satisfied, everyone's satisfied. You should be thanking me for being so picky.
Well, it's mostly thanks to the hard work of the realtor. It's a little small, but it's more than enough for the two of us.
And if we suddenly find ourselves needing space for a kid or two?
I think we could do fine here with one kid, but two might be a bit much. If need be, I can repurpose my office into a nursery.
Wait, you were serious about making one room into an office for yourself?
Yeah? Did you think I was joking?
You said you were thinking about it, but I didn't think you meant it. The living room is pretty big. Why don't you just work there?
I won't be able to focus in the living room.
Good grief, Lisa. They're not pleasing you at all?
In case you've forgotten, the only reason we were able to buy this house in the first place is because of how hard I work at my job. If I had a room that I could use as a space to focus on my work, my performance would go up even higher. And since buying this house wiped out practically all my savings, I'm gonna have to work twice as hard to save it all back up again.
What's wrong with the way you work now? I say you already work more than hard enough.
I let you have a room to display your action figures, Rick. Since you get a room to yourself, I deserve a room for myself too.
Do you have any idea how hard I've worked to collect and maintain all those action figures? Plus, a bunch of them are really rare. You have to keep them locked up in a secure case. All that stuff takes up a lot of space. But you just need a computer.
Seriously, Rick? I let you have an entire room just for your collection. It's only fair that I have some space to work in. Hey, Rick. We got a ton of packages in the mail, and they're addressed to you? What is all this stuff?
That's my sister's stuff.
This is Jenna's stuff. But why did she send it to you?
Duh! It's because she's gonna come and live with us. She's unemployed and her loser fiance just broke up with her. I felt so bad for her. I said she could come and live with us to keep her company.
You have got to be kidding me. This is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah? And why do you suppose that is? If I talked to you about this ahead of time, you would've just said no. I figured it'd be safe once her stuff arrived. Now that things have gotten this far, there's no way you can turn her away now.
Rick, how could you do something so selfish? We don't have an empty room in the house. Exactly where are you planning on having her sleep?
You have that room with all your stupid work stuff in it, right? Give her that room.
Not a chance. You're the one who invited your sister to live with us without so much as mentioning it to me first. You can clear out the room with all of your action figures and give her that one.
No way! I need that room. This is a non-negotiable.
That's complete nonsense. You don't need a room for your action figures. You want it. I, however, actually need my office. What in the world has gotten into you? Did you think that you could just force me into doing things your way by sheer force of will?
Yeah?
Just who do you think you are anyway? Do you think you're the king of this house or something? That couldn't be farther from the truth. You don't get to decide everything that happens here by yourself.
Actually, I can. Aren't you forgetting something very, very important, Lisa? This is my house.
What?
Whose name is on the title, Lisa? Go ahead. Pull it out and tell me. I'll believe you'll find that it is my name on that title, and that as such, I do get to make all the decisions I want. I'm well within my rights to determine who gets to live here and what room is used for what purpose. If you don't like it, then you can move out.
Oh, wait, hold on. What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about? This is my house, Lisa. I make the rules.
No, it isn't. It's mine.
It is not.
Okay, how about I ask you this way? What exactly makes you think the house is yours, Rick? Can you explain that to me? I found the listing for this house, contacted the realtor, went to an open house, signed the purchase agreement, and paid for it all by myself. And my name is on the title.
But we're married, though. Doesn't that mean the title defaults to the husband?
Is that how you thought it worked? This isn't the 1600s anymore, Rick. Women can own property now.
But I'm the man of the house.
That's just an expression. It's not legally binding. Just because you are the man of the house doesn't make you the man who owns the house.
It doesn't?
Look, I understand that your sister has fallen on hard times, and I'm not opposed to helping her out. I'll even allow her to live with us like you want. However, there are a few conditions. 1, we will discuss with her and set a reasonable time limit by which she needs to find her own place. 2, I am not giving her my workroom.
Then where is she supposed to sleep?
Isn't that obvious? In your room. Rearrange things so a bed fits in there or clear out your action figures. Oh, and one more thing. She's going to be contributing to expenses too. I'll let her be our housemaid, but I'm not going to become her mother.
How can you be so cold, Lisa? This is my sister we're talking about, and she's going through a lot right now. Don't you feel any desire to help out a family member in need?
You said her fiancé dumped her, but it's curious that you left out why he dumped her. He simply got tired of her going out to the bar every night and using his money to pay for it. It's not just her ex-fiancé either. Even your parents are furious at her shenanigans. She's brought this situation upon herself.
I can't believe the words coming out of your mouth. Or, well, these are texts, so they're actually coming out of your fingers. But that aside, I'm incredibly disappointed in you. No matter what you say, my sister is going to live with us, and we are going to support her however we can. Lisa, what's going on with the door? I'm trying to unlock it, but my key doesn't work. Is it broken or something?
No, I just changed a lock.
You what? Why? We just moved in. Why do you need to change out the locks already?
Because if I didn't change the locks, then you'd be able to get inside.
But I live here. I don't get it, Lisa. What are you doing?
I'm kicking you out of the house. You told me yesterday that the person whose name is on the title can decide who gets to live here and who doesn't, right? When I thought about it, I came to see that you made an excellent point. So, as the person whose name is on the title of this house, I hereby decree that you are not welcome any longer.
What's the matter with you? This isn't your house. We're married. It's our house. You have no right to kick me out of the house.
Which is it, Rick? Could you please make up your mind? Either the person whose name is on the title owns the house, or both of us own the house. I'm not going to let you change the rules when things aren't going your way.
Okay, maybe you have a point there. But if you boot me out of the house, what am I supposed to do? And not just me, what about Jenna? She's going to be here tomorrow. I mean, I'm a guy, so in the worst case scenario, I can always camp out under the stars if the weather's decent. I can't let women sleep outside at night.
Why don't you get a room at a hotel? You've got enough money to cover at least a few nights, right?
Are you telling me I'd have to pay for a hotel room for the both of us?
So what if I am? You just tried to force me to cover all her living expenses for her. What are you telling me, Rick? That you want to help Jenna, but not enough to actually pay for it yourself? Sorry, but I'm not going to let you use me for an ATM that you can just withdraw from whenever you want.
That's not what I'm doing at all.
It's exactly what you've been doing for as long as I can remember. And I'm putting a stop to it right here, right now. I didn't buy this house to house your action figures and prodigal family members.
Look, Lisa, I'm super grateful that you bought this house for me. Really. You get that, right? That I'm sincerely grateful?
Not really. I don't recall you ever showing me any genuine gratitude whatsoever. Was this your plan all along, Rick? To make me buy a house so you could show off all your action figures and house your little sister?
No, that's not true. Jenna's fiancé didn't even dump her until a few days ago. This is all a recent development.
Be that as it may, it seems to me that you've been thinking about no one else but yourself for a long time now.
Are you still mad at me? I'm really sorry, Lisa. I just talked to my sister and told her that she can't come home and live with us anymore. Does that make you feel better? Can I come back home now?
I meant it when I said you weren't welcome here anymore. This house is mine to do what I please with it.
Are you really still going on about that? I already told you I was sorry. I shouldn't have talked to you like I did. I was being an arrogant jerk and I really regret it.
Oh, and another thing, I'm divorcing you.
What? You've got to be kidding me.
I wouldn't joke about such a serious topic as this, Rick. I'm going to box up all your stuff and put it out in the front yard. So come over and pick it up as soon as possible.
Wait! I know what I did was wrong, Lisa. I shouldn't have threatened to kick you out of the house. I realize my mistake now. You don't want to repeat the same mistake I did, do you?
Please, stop pretending like you and I are on the same level. I'm not the type to just throw out empty threats willy-nilly like you. I'm following all the necessary legal procedures to get rid of you.
That's where you're wrong. I'm not a total idiot. I know a thing or two. Even though you're technically the owner of the house, you don't have any legal authority to kick me out. Not as long as we're married.
Why do you think I'm going to divorce you? That solves all my problems.
Alright, well if we're gonna get a divorce, then we're gonna have a few things to talk about. Like a fair and equitable division of our assets.
This house isn't joint property, so it's not subject to asset division. It's 100% mine, and you have no right to be here.
But I don't get it. How does that work? Why isn't our house joint property?
Because I bought it using money I had saved up before we got married. Did you completely forget that you commanded me to buy this house using my savings?
Wait, if you bought it with money you made before we got married, it's not joint property?
That's right. That's why I had no issues with putting the house in my name only.
I had no idea. So I guess that means I won't get any of your savings either?
Unfortunately for you, no. It's all my money, and you have no right to get any of it.
And I'm gonna be left with basically nothing after the divorce. What am I gonna do? How am I supposed to get by from now on without you?
You'll find some way to manage without me, I'm sure. You're a grown adult.
You know that's not true. You know how much I need you. Economically, emotionally. Without you in my life, I'm completely lost.
Well, I'm glad you're conscious of it anyway. You've been nothing but a burden to me, but I had no choice but to support you as your wife. I thought that maybe there was something good in you that would make it worth staying with you, but no, there's nothing there. Speaking of which, now that there's nothing in your action figure room anymore, I think I might put my office there instead. Rick put up quite a fight, but I followed through on divorcing him. He tried to push his sister off on his parents, but they were already sick of her. So now, Jenna's mooching off of Rick to get by. They moved into a cheap apartment together, but she outright refused to look for a job. Rick tried his best, but he just wasn't capable of supporting the two of them on his own modest salary. He's currently working multiple part-time jobs, in addition to his main job to make ends meet. As for me, that house was full of bad memories for me, so I decided to rent it out. I guess that's my silver lining in all of this. I found out that real estate investment is actually kind of fun.
Hello, Megan. I was just wondering if you have some free time next week, Friday? I'm planning on going to visit a friend that lives in the city, and since I'll be in the neighborhood, I was hoping that we could go and have some dinner. Of course, I'll understand if you don't have much time to spare. It's just been a long time since I've seen Nathan, and I don't want him to forget his little old grandma.
Oh, hi, Gina. I'm sorry, but I don't think I'll have time to go out to dinner on Friday. I've been a little busy lately. And Nathan's got his French lessons on Friday evening. I don't think we'll make it.
Oh, really? Then how about on Saturday? Whatever time is best for you. I can always spend Friday night at a hotel and go and see you the next day. What do you think?
Saturday? One of Nathan's friends from preschool is having a birthday party that day, so it's a no-can-do, I'm afraid.
Oh, what a shame. It sounds like you really are busy.
We really are. We've got so much planned, so it's a little difficult to make time to have dinner at such late notice. Nathan's got to study for the admission test for elementary school, too. There's so much we've got to do before he graduates from preschool.
Oh my goodness, he's got to take admission exams for elementary school? You don't hear that so often.
Well, he took an exam to enter this preschool, so it's only natural that he'd have to take a test for elementary school. The elementary school we're aiming to send him to is a prestigious private school, and a majority of students there go on to enter the top universities in the country. Some even go to study in universities abroad. If he can get into this elementary school, then he'll receive the best education in the country, and entering a private middle school and high school will be as easy as pie. His future will be completely secured as long as he passes his first test.
Really? Oh, he's still so young, and yet it's like he already has to start thinking about his own future. I guess it would be a shame to not make the most of the education there, but it must be so competitive.
Of course! He can't lose to the other children in his preschool. We've got to be careful and make sure that the first step he takes is the right one. Otherwise, he'll end up falling behind in everything.
And you've already got him learning French, too? You're very determined, aren't you?
That's nothing special. Every parent that actually cares about their child's future should be organizing private lessons for them. All the children attending Nathan's preschool are taking at least 3 private lessons in something. Some of them are learning French, Spanish, others are taking piano or cello lessons.
At least 3? Where do they find the time to do all of that? No wonder he doesn't have time to see his grandma. But I hope you'll make some time to bring him over and play for a weekend. I would really love to see him. You've been taking him to visit your parents, haven't you? My son mentioned that you all went out for lunch a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, but it's much easier to visit my parents because they're living in the city too. It's only a short drive to their house, so it doesn't take as much time. It would take much longer to drive to where you live, and we just don't have the time. Besides, even if we did go and visit you, there's absolutely nothing to do. What is my son supposed to do when we all go and visit? I can already imagine him getting bored on the road there, and he'll even be more disappointed when we arrive. And he realizes that they're in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to take him when he won't have fun.
Well, I can't argue with that. There aren't many places to visit here as there are where you live. It certainly doesn't boast as many tourist attractions. But we've got lovely beaches and some wonderful parks and ponds. There's plenty more nature than you get in the city, and that would be so good for Nathan. Oh, we could go hiking. It would be so much fun. Trust me.
You must be joking. Why would I want Nathan to play on the beach? It's too dangerous. What if he ended up drowning or hurt himself on some rocks? And I don't want him to take hiking. He'll be touching trees, dirt, insects, and will just get sick from all of the bacteria. I don't even want to think about what could happen to him. In the first place, where on earth would we stay? I don't like the idea of spending the night at your house. It's too old and everything creaks. I won't get any sleep, and I just know that Nathan will hate it there.
Oh, is that so? I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you felt so uncomfortable about staying here. But I can understand why you'd be so put off by it. It's an old wooden house, so it doesn't have the security measures you have in place at your apartment, and you're very right about the floorboards.
Wasn't it your husband's childhood home? He's already passed away, so I don't see why you have to keep on living in that old place. Shouldn't you sell it and move somewhere more convenient? If you moved closer, we could think about visiting you more.
I thought about that when he passed, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. He left it to me, and there are so many memories here of his childhood and of our son's childhood. I couldn't part with it yet. If possible, I'd like to spend the rest of my life in this house, and my son can decide what he wants to do with it after I've gone.
It might be a good idea to have it rebuilt, but I assume you don't have the money for that?
Even if I did have the money, I'm already an old woman. I don't see the point in doing anything like that, especially since I don't know how long I have left to live. I just think that it would be an awful waste if I spent so much money on rebuilding or renovating it, only to kick the bucket a couple of years later. If I had more children, then I could have asked someone for some help in paying for the renovations, or could have left it to someone else, but since he's an only child, my son is the only one who could inherit it.
We don't have any intention of leaving the city, Gina. I doubt we'll be inheriting it when you're gone.
Yes, of course. How silly of me. You wouldn't want to move into such a remote area when you've got everything right where you are.
If you could at least get it renovated, I could think about taking Nathan to visit you more often. But as it is now, I just can't bear the idea of going to stay with you.
I suppose you're right. It might be worth giving a renovation a go.
I should probably mention this up front, but we won't be able to lend you any money to cover the cost of the renovation. We don't have the money to spare. From now on, we've got to spend all the money we have on Nathan and his education. You'll have to work out a way to pay for it on your own, without relying on us.
Of course, I wouldn't dare trouble you for any money. Oh, you don't have to worry. I can manage it all on my own.
Anyway, I think that we'll be able to make more time once Nathan's exams are over. In other words, we won't have the time to see you until they're over. I'll get in touch when I think we have time, so I'd be very grateful if you could give us some space.
Sure, let Nathan know that I wish him luck on his exams. I hope you don't push yourself too hard either, Megan.
Hello, Gina. Nathan passed his exams.
Oh, congratulations! Oh, that's wonderful news. I was wondering when Nathan's tests would be over, but I'm glad to hear that he's gotten into the elementary school you wanted him to go to.
Oh, his test finished a couple of months back. They make us wait so long to hear the results, so I thought I was going to lose my mind. It's been very nerve-wracking.
Oh, really? Oh, a couple of months. Well, I guess this means that Nathan can enjoy the holidays without any worries about school.
Yes, absolutely. It's one obstacle down. That's why we've planned a trip with my parents. We're going away for a week.
Oh, so I won't get to see him for the holidays either? I couldn't see him while he was studying for his exams, and I didn't even know that they were over until you just mentioned it. I was hoping to spend some time with you all when the holidays came up.
You'll have plenty of chances to see him once he starts school. We'll make some time to have dinner when the next holidays come up.
Right, I suppose so. I'm looking forward to it.
More importantly, now that he's secured a place at that school, he won't have to worry about his future at all.
Yes, he must have worked so hard. I'm so proud of him. I imagine it must have been very difficult getting a place there. Private schools are very competitive, especially in that area, aren't they?
It's only natural that Nathan passed a test. You don't need to praise him for something as simple as this. It was worth being so strict about his studying. He's a very smart child, And I'm sure that he can achieve much more if he continues to do his best.
It sounds like you worked just as hard as he did, Megan. I hope you can both enjoy your trip and rest up over the holidays. So just how prestigious is the elementary school he's gotten into?
It's one of the top elementary schools in the country. There's a ranking for these schools, and it's always listed in the top 3. The only downsides are the expensive school fees that come along with the top-class education. Fortunately for us, my husband earns more than enough to afford it. I'm so grateful that he's working in such a major corporation. But he understands that it's a necessary expense for our son's future. We won't regret spending this much money on his education.
Oh, really? In the top 3? Oh, I'm speechless. I can't believe he managed to make it into such an amazing school.
I should also give some credit to the principal at Nathan's preschool. She supported us along the way and gave us a lot of advice. She has a lot of connections spread across many private schools in the city, and she's very knowledgeable when it comes to their admissions. That's one of the many reasons why I chose this preschool for Nathan.
You thought that far ahead when you were deciding which preschool to put him in? I just assumed that you chose it because it was in a very lovely neighborhood.
Of course I did. She really is a wonderful principal, Gina. You'd understand if you had the chance to meet her. She's currently just a preschool principal, but in the past, she's resided over school boards at a very distinguished private school all over the country as superintendent. I've heard rumors that she's still got a lot of power and influence in the education world, so I thought that I could use that to our advantage and get some advice for Nathan.
She really does sound like a very reliable principal, and I'm still surprised by all the research you put into your decision, Megan. You must have a talent for investigating.
It's all information I picked up from the other moms. People can ridicule gossip all they want, but it really does come in handy to be in the know.
That makes a lot of sense. Knowledge really is power, isn't it? But now that Nathan's exams are over, he can relax until it's time for him to graduate from preschool, can't he?
Yes, he can. I'll send you photos from the graduation after it's over.
Oh, that's lovely, but my son asked me if I wanted to attend the ceremony with you all on the day. Would it be okay for me to go with you? I'd love to see you all in person, and I really miss Nathan.
What? My husband invited you to the ceremony. He never told me. What did he tell you?
Well, he mentioned that your parents were going to be there, and said that it would mean a lot to him if I was there too. He said that Nathan would be happy to see everyone gathered for him. I couldn't see him on his first day at preschool, so I was really looking forward to watching him graduate. I told my son that I'd be happy to go, but is there a problem?
But it's a private preschool. It's very different to the kinds of preschools you have in the area where you live. I don't think you'd fit in even if you came. What I'm trying to say is that you'd have to wear something that wouldn't embarrass us. All the parents of the children attending Nathan's preschool are all rich. They're practically celebrities. You wouldn't want to stand out next to them wearing your Sunday best, would you? Do you even have anything suitable to wear?
It's okay. I'll talk to a relative, one of my nieces or someone, and get them to give me some fashion advice. I'll buy something nice, and I won't embarrass you. I promise. Would you please let me come with you? Please, I really would love to see Nathan. I've been looking forward to seeing him for such a long time.
You promise? Okay, I guess you can come with us. But make sure you buy a really nice dress. It's got to be formal, but nothing boring. But you shouldn't stand out either. I don't want people laughing at us.
Megan, I'm so sorry. I won't be able to join you for breakfast. I'm stuck in traffic, and I'm going to be a little late. But I should make it there before the ceremony starts. I really won't be long. Will you just give me a few more minutes?
Gina, I hate to say this, but do you think you can go back home? I don't think you should come to the ceremony after all.
What? Why? But I came all this way. I can't go back now.
I just don't think you belong here. You'll stick out like a sore thumb. And you'll just ruin the celebrations by embarrassing all of us. It's better for all of us if you don't come to the ceremony and just go home.
What do you mean I don't belong there? I'm Nathan's grandmother. I have every right to be there, don't I? I even bought a new dress, especially for today. I won't be an embarrassment, I promise.
I told you. The parents and relatives that are going to be at today's ceremony are different. They're not like you. Unlike you, they're elites. A country bumpkin like you shouldn't come to a place like this.
You're right that I must be a country bumpkin in comparison to all the rich people that will be at today's ceremony, but you don't have to say it like that.
The truth is, I've always been embarrassed by you, Gina. If you come to the ceremony, all those people will see you, and you'll just embarrass Nathan too. I think it's best that you turn around, go home, and leave Nathan alone. He's going to elementary school, so it's a great opportunity for you to stop bothering him.
What? You don't want me to see Nathan anymore? But he's my grandson!
Nathan's been admitted to an elite elementary school. From now on, he's going to lead the life of an elite, just like the other people that are attending the ceremony. The world he's going to live in from now on is different from the one you've lived in your entire life. In this world, you're a loser. I don't want my son getting involved with the likes of you anymore. You're just going to be a bad influence on him. If he's around someone like you, he'll catch some strange habits, and he won't be able to make any friends at school.
The likes of me? You think that I'll be a bad influence on him? Why do I have to be told that I'm a loser? Can you even hear yourself speak? What is the matter with you? You have been so rude talking down to me like that.
You're a poor person, living in a broken down old house. If you're not a loser, then what are you? There's no other word to describe someone who doesn't have anything in life. Nathan doesn't need you. My parents are more than enough as his grandparents. He's got nothing to learn from a good-for-nothing like you. I want you to disappear and never come back for Nathan's sake. If you want the best for him just like I do, you won't interfere with his life.
I can't believe you chased me out after I came all this way to attend my grandson's graduation ceremony. I was looking forward to it. To think that you could be so cruel, it's such a shame.
You're being really stubborn, Gina. This is a private preschool. No matter how you look at it, you don't belong in a place like this. You should just leave. You shouldn't have come here in the first place.
Why? What do you mean? I'm not worthy enough to step foot here because I don't have the money all these other people have?
Yeah, a poor person like you would just stand out in a bad way. You'll lower people's image of Nathan. If people realize that you're Nathan's grandmother, you'll just embarrass us all. You're a loser, so you should go back to the countryside where you belong.
I'm appalled that you can talk like that to me. Are you sure you want to keep on insulting me like that? The principal's already furious enough as things are.
What? The principal? What are you talking about? What principal?
I'm talking about the principal of the preschool Nathan's going to. I was standing outside the preschool after you chased me away when the principal happened to come my way. She said that she called out to me because she realized that I was crying.
What? You spoke to the principal? What were you thinking? You're just going to make me look bad. Tell her that nothing's wrong. You're just a loser. You don't have any say in Nathan's life, and you can't do things like that without my permission.
How silly. You really don't learn, do you? It's that attitude you've taken with me that's upset the principal.
What? You mean that the principal is upset with me?
Of course she is. Who wouldn't be after everything you said to me? She's saying that maybe Nathan wasn't worthy of that admission into that elementary school.
What? Why not? This has got nothing to do with that.
I don't think so. It was a private school, so you and my son must have been interviewed along with Nathan, weren't you? She told me that your behavior wasn't appropriate for someone whose child would be attending such a prestigious school.
Excuse me? But all I was doing was protecting my son. I was just doing what I thought was in his best interest. Why would the principal get so upset over something like that? I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, that doesn't make any difference. Besides, the principal and I are actually relatives. My grandfather and her grandmother were siblings.
Relatives? But you never mentioned anything like that. Why didn't you tell me that?
Well, it's been a long time since we last saw each other. We've been out of touch because I moved away when I got married. I was very shocked when I looked up to see her standing right in front of me. Of course, she was just as speechless because I was crying my heart out in front of the gates. I heard that she was working as a principal in this city, but I didn't expect her to be working at Nathan's preschool.
You're kidding. That can't be true. You and the principal were relatives?
And earlier you had the nerve to call me a loser and say that I was poor, but where did you get the idea that I don't have any money? I'm not as poor as you think I am. I've actually inherited hundreds of thousands of dollars from my parents.
What? Hundreds of thousands? No way. Please tell me that you typed that all wrong. Is your family really that rich?
I don't have anything to gain from lying to you. My family is actually rather well known as a distinguished family. The same goes for the principal, too. But of course my grandfather was the eldest son, so my family is directly related to the main family, and the principal's family is a branch family.
What? But you're living in such a shabby house. There's no way you're rich. You didn't even want to spend any money on renovating it.
You may think it's shabby, but it's still a home. It was my husband's childhood home, not mine. Whether I had money or not makes no difference. Besides, I was reluctant to renovate it because my husband's father was insistent that he didn't want anything changed. He was so stubborn and even refused to consider putting in a stair lift when he had difficulty climbing the stairs. My husband wanted to respect his wishes too, so we didn't do anything after his death, and now I don't want to go against my late husband's wishes.
That's why you spent such a long time living in such a broken down house. You had the money to move out and buy a house of your own, and you still stayed there?
Yes, I should warn you that the principal wants to have a word with you.
She wants to talk to me? About what?
I don't know. It's not my place to ask.
She's not planning on telling me that she's going to have Nathan's admission denied, is she? Please, you've got to convince her that she's making a mistake.
You're much too paranoid. I highly doubt that. I don't think she has the power to do something like that.
But I've heard rumors that she's still got a lot of power and influence. She could do it if she spoke to someone at the elementary school. She knows the superintendent there. She might even speak to him herself and get him to announce that there was some sort of mistake and that Nathan didn't really pass his test.
Come to think of it, she did mention that a relative of hers was working as a superintendent at the private school Nathan got into. In other words, I'm related to the superintendent, too.
What? This is ridiculous. Just how many connections do you have?
To be more precise, the superintendent is related to the principal's wife, so I'm not related to the superintendent by blood, but it's true that the principal has relatives in every corner of the education world. We might even meet relatives when it comes time for Nathan to enter middle school, high school, and even university. How fun. It'll be like a family get-together every time. But it's not good news for you, since the principal plans on telling the superintendent at the private school everything that's happened between us. The superintendent's not going to have a good impression of you, and Nathan hasn't even started going to school yet.
Oh no. This can't be happening. What do I do? What if this affects how they look at Nathan? Please tell me they're not going to give him a bad evaluation because of me.
Looks like you're the one that's been a bad influence on Nathan, not me. Your arrogant behavior is what's going to ruin chances for him. Do you understand that?
Gina, I'm really sorry about what I said to you today. I know that I have no right to ask this, but would you please consider forgiving me?
Well, you finally stopped calling me a loser and gotten back to calling me by name. Your attitude's changed completely since this morning. What happened? But there's no use sucking up to me because it's obvious that you're not really sorry.
I really am sincerely sorry. You've got to believe me. I'm so sorry that I was so rude to you and said all those horrible things. After our conversation, the principal and I spoke, and not only did I get told off by her, but I was also reprimanded by my parents and my husband.
Is that so? What did they say to you?
They told me that I was the one making things difficult for Nathan's future, and that the obstacle wasn't you, but actually me.
Well, they're right. My son messaged me earlier to apologize and assure me that I would never have to worry about being spoken to like that ever again. He was surprised that I was even at the preschool at all, since you told him that I had fallen sick and couldn't make it today. What a cunning woman you are. I can't believe you could be so dirty.
I'm so sorry. Looking back, I can see how wrong I was to treat you the way I did. My husband told me that he wanted a divorce. If I can't get you to forgive me, I'm going to lose my husband. He won't forgive me until he's heard that we've made up and made peace.
Make peace? I have no intention of forgiving you.
Please? Can't you rethink that? You've got to, or I really will lose everything. Please, I'm begging you. I won't ever talk to you like that ever again. I can't even believe how rude I was to someone from such a powerful family. I promise to take Nathan to visit you more often. You miss him, don't you? I'm sure he'd love to go and visit you.
Why should I forgive you? I want you out of my family, too. I think it's best that you and my son divorce, too. One day when I've passed, my son will inherit all my money, and I've been avoiding unnecessary expenses so that he can inherit more of it. But I don't want you receiving a single dollar. If possible, I want my son to take custody of my grandson, too.
No, I won't let that happen. If we get divorced, I'm taking my son.
But even if you do gain custody, can you really afford to pay the tuition fees? You'll have to pull Nathan out of private school if you take him. You've never worked a day in your life. Do you have the money to pay a fortune for his education?
I'll ask my parents to lend me some money. I'll make it work somehow.
Can your parents really afford it? Do they have the money?
They're not as rich as you or my husband, but they have some savings.
I think it's best that my son takes custody. That way Nathan will grow up in a more stable environment. My son has the money after all. He doesn't even need to rely on me financially. And if there's a 1 in a million chance that he can't continue paying the tuition fees, I can pay for them in his place.
But I should take custody of Nathan. I'm the one that's been raising him this entire time, while my husband's been at work. If we get divorced, I should take him. I'm the only one that knows what's best for Nathan.
Are you really sure that you were acting in Nathan's best interests? I don't think so.
What?
My son's mentioned your methods to me before. He told me that he was worried that you've been too harsh on Nathan and that if anything, Nathan's been acting out because you've been so controlling and limiting his free time. I heard that Nathan's been pulling his own hair out because of the stress he's been under, even though he's still so small.
That's not true. He hasn't been acting out at all.
Sending him to a private school isn't everything, you know. It doesn't matter if he goes to a regular elementary school. The principal was saying the same thing, too, that raising your child with plenty of love and affection is more important than any expensive education.
I love Nathan. I've been raising him with all the care in the world.
Is that really love? Have you really been putting Nathan's feelings first? Are you sure you haven't been pushing him to achieve more and more and making him feel like he's not enough? He needs to feel loved for who he is, not for what you want him to be. For Nathan's sake, I think that you should just disappear. After that, Megan came to my house and begged me to forgive her. However, it's not easy to undo the damage that's been done. She had spent a long time trying to keep me apart from Nathan, and I couldn't bring myself to forgive how she had treated him, as well as how she had treated me. My son lost all hope in reconciling with Megan and pushed the divorce papers in her face. Apparently, she begged and pleaded with him to forgive her too, but no matter how much she cried, my son couldn't forgive what she had done and had her sign the papers. When the divorce proceedings were over, it was decided that my son would take full custody of Nathan because she wasn't financially stable enough to raise him on her own. It seems that Megan did her best to keep a hold of Nathan, but to no avail. In the end, it seems that Nathan was the one who refused to go with his mother and begged that his dad take him with him. It looks like her harsh attitude and strict studying schedule had frightened Nathan, and he didn't want to be with her anymore. My grandson wished to go and live with his father, and in the end, that's what happened. When she realized that she had been rejected by her own son, her pride was shattered. After the divorce, Megan returned to live with her parents, but nothing could heal the pain she had brought upon herself. I heard through the grapevine that she hardly ever left the house and had become a shut-in. My son began visiting more often and brought Nathan with him to see me. I had never seen Nathan so much since he was born and was grateful to my son for bringing him all the way to my old house whenever he could. According to my son, Nathan had started laughing much more since he had divorced Megan, and he looked much happier balancing his studies and going out to play more often. I think that education starts with the will to protect your children and by teaching them how to live a healthy and safe lifestyle. It's definitely not a tool used to control your children, and you shouldn't force your own ambitions onto them.
We need to have a talk, Sean. I just got your report card in the mail, and I am absolutely livid. There isn't even one single A on this card anywhere. Your highest grade was a B+, but that was in gym class. What's going on with you? Are you performing this poorly on purpose?
Why would I go out of my way to get mediocre grades? I did as well as I could, and well, you can see the results for yourself.
Nonsense. I won't hear such ridiculous talk from you. Our family has attended nothing but the most prestigious universities for generations. As the firstborn son of our family, I will not have you going to some run-of-the-mill commoner university.
What do you want from me, Mom? I told you, I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing all the extra homework you're making me do, and taking lessons with a private tutor. Don't you think it's time you accepted that maybe this is just the way I am?
Even if that is just the way you are, I'll have no choice but to force you to clean up your act. If word gets out that my son is merely average, I'll never be able to face my friends again. How much money do you think I've spent on fixing you since your father died,
Too much, apparently. Sorry you wasted Dad's money on me. I don't care about going to some elite university. I'll be happy going to the one I want to attend.
How dare you disgrace your father's memory with such insolence?
I don't know. I thought he'd be too upset about how I'm doing in school. He was always content to see me doing the things I was passionate about. Remember when you made me take the entrance exam for that private high school? Dad was telling me all the time that I didn't need to stress out too much about it. Seriously, Mom. I think you're going way overboard with your academic elitism.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. You think you can go to just any old university out there? What's the point of even attending a university with an average SAT score of less than 1,300? If you want to go to work at a high-paying company like your father, the only way is to graduate from an elite university.
I'm not Dad, Mom. I'm my own person. I'm gonna walk my own path in life.
That attitude of yours is completely unacceptable for a firstborn son. Why couldn't your younger brother Corey have been born before you? Corey always takes his studies incredibly seriously. I got his report card today as well, and he got straight A's.
Then you can go ahead and consider Corey as your firstborn for all I care. You always treated him way better than me anyway. You barely ever paid any attention to me at all, honestly. So, just leave me alone, will you? Stop getting all over me about college stuff. I'm tired of it.
I wouldn't have to be getting after you like this if you hadn't decided to apply to that peasant university. If any of the other mothers in the neighborhood found out you were attending there, I'd die of embarrassment.
Okay, then just keep your mouth shut and don't tell anyone about me. I won't tell anyone either, so problem solved.
You're not escaping responsibility so easily. Don't forget that we're only able to get by thanks to the money your father left behind when he passed. He built up this fortune for us by graduating from a top-class university and working for a top-class company. All the middle-class peasants say there's more to a person than just their work history. But all the truly elite people only got there due to their elite education.
Good for them. It's still my life, and I'm gonna decide what I do with it.
If that's your attitude, then you can pay me back for all the money I've spent on tutors and private schooling for you.
Did I ever once ask you to spend all that money on me? I mean, why do you think I'm taking private lessons right now anyway? You're making me. Don't try and make me responsible for something you did of your own volition.
You little ungrateful wretch. You're 16 years old now. I don't have to allow you to attend school at all. If you're going to insist upon attending a working-class university, then drop out of high school this very instant.
Which is it, Mom? Do you want me to have an education or not? You've been pushing me all this time to get super elite education. But now you're telling me I have to become a high school dropout?
I told you, Sean, any education other than one at a prestigious university is no education at all. So go on, Sean. Make your own choices, like the big grown-up man you think you are. Drop out of high school and start living on your own. It won't matter to me. I've still got Corey. I know he would never disappoint me like you have.
There you go again, putting all your hopes and dreams on Corey. Do you really think he wants that kind of pressure from you? I can't imagine the amount of stress you're putting him under.
You don't need to worry about Corey. Unlike you, he's an incredibly gifted young man. He knows that everything I'm saying is 100% correct. You should be worrying about yourself, Sean. If you want to graduate high school, attend an acceptable university, and live a life worth living, then you had better shut your impudent little mouth and do exactly as I say. You will be taking the entrance exam for the university I choose for you, and if you do not pass, then I will disown you as my son. The day has come, Sean. Get out of my house by nightfall.
Huh? Oh, I get it. You got the results of my entrance exam back. I take it that I didn't pass then.
Indeed. That's not all, however. You took the entrance exam for that third-rate university despite me explicitly forbidding it. And worse, you passed. It seems like every day you find newer, crueler ways to betray me, boy. I would consider it if you were going to attempt to apply again next year. But you've already enrolled in the university you chose. You're dead to me.
Yeah, I thought this day would come eventually. But seriously, you want me to get out today? I mean, my high school graduation ceremony is in a few weeks.
That's not my concern. Rent an apartment, live in a homeless shelter, or sell yourself into slavery if you have to. You'll have to get by on your own from now on. Be grateful I'm gracious enough to give you a suitcase. Pack as much of your things as you can fit inside of it. I don't want you ever coming back here ever again.
That's how it is, huh, Mom? Fine. I'm leaving.
One more thing. Don't you ever attempt to contact Corey. No phone calls, no text, no social media. From this day forth, you are no longer welcome in this family. I regret the day I brought an imbecile like you into this world. I only have one son now, Corey. I know he'll always do what I tell him to do.
To be honest, I was growing tired of dealing with an overbearing mom like you. So that's just fine with me.
That's exactly the kind of talk I expected from you. Disrespectful to the very end. Pathetic. Perhaps they made a mistake at the hospital and switched my baby out for you. No son of mine would ever behave like you.
And no mother of mine would ever be as controlling as you. One last thing, Mom, about Corey. Back off him, Mom. Stop pushing him so hard. He's his own person just like me.
You truly are an idiot, aren't you? You really think you and Corey are anything alike? Just because you turned out to be an impudent little brat, incapable of anything but disappointing me, doesn't mean Corey will become as much of a miserable failure as you. You've got far more important things to worry about than Corey, like finding a new place to live. And for the record, I will not be giving you any money when you leave.
I don't need any of your money, Mom. Now, leave me alone. I gotta get packing. You want me out by nightfall, right? Fine. My final show of appreciation for giving birth to me and raising me until now? I'll do what you want this one time. But don't ever expect anything from me ever again. I hope I never see or hear from you for the rest of my life.
The feeling's mutual, I assure you. Seeing you again would only remind me of what a colossal failure you turned out to be. I'll be out of the house by evening, so be sure you're gone before I return. Farewell, Sean. It's unfortunate things have happened this way, but this is the path that you've chosen for yourself. Corey, my pride and joy. I just heard the big news. Your job interview was a success.
That's right.
I'm so proud of you. Why don't you come by the house tonight? We need to celebrate. I'll make you a big dinner with all your favorites.
Sorry, Mom. I actually have plans for today.
Oh, is that right? Well, that's too bad. We'll have to have you over very soon, though. Oh, Corey, I just can't tell you enough how proud I am of you. I always knew that you'd get hired into a top-class company, just like your father did. Meanwhile, I'll bet that other boy, whose name need not be spoken, is working the cash register at a convenience store.
Wait, you mean Sean? Are you telling me you didn't know?
Didn't know about what? That he's a colossal disappointment and utter failure? Of course I knew that.
No, that he's actually one of the biggest success stories in a generation.
What? What do you mean? Sean? A success?
Oh, I'm guessing you get most of your news from TV, right? Like, you've never read news articles on the internet?
Why bother? With all the rampant misinformation online, the only network I trust to tell me what's going on in the world is BNN.
Ah, then I guess you want to know.
In any case, what's going on with that fool?
What's going on is he has the world in the palm of his hand. While he was in college, he single-handedly designed and published what's now the #1 most popular app in the world. Then, he sold it for an unbelievable amount of money. Now he's working for one of the most prominent technology firms in the world. I doubt there's a single person who uses social media that doesn't know Sean's name.
That boy's working for a respectable company? Oh, Corey, you always knew how to make me laugh. Now, enough joking around. What's he really up to?
I'm not joking.
Wait, you mean you're serious?
Yeah, Mom. Sean is an absolute genius. I'm jealous of him, really. All I ever had was book smarts, but Sean? He's got something special.
Don't be ridiculous, Corey. You are superior to that fool in every single way.
That's where you're wrong, Mom. Anyway, I want to tell you that I'm grateful for all the support you've given me. But from now on, I think it's best we go our separate ways. I don't need you to micromanage every single facet of my life anymore. So thanks for offering to celebrate with me, but I don't think I'll ever be coming home again.
Corey, you're not going to come home again?
That's what I said.
But weren't you going to move back home after you finish university?
Are you kidding me? You think I'd voluntarily walk back into that house? I'd rather spend the rest of my life in a prison cell. Life with you was practically a prison anyway. So yeah, I only hinted that I might come back because you were paying for my tuition. But I don't need that anymore. And I don't need you anymore either.
But Corey, I've spent an incredible amount of money on you over the years.
Yeah? And did I ever ask you to do that? No, you just kept throwing money at me. Besides, I fulfilled my end of the bargain.
I went to the private elementary school, middle school, high school, and college you told me to, didn't I? It seems to me like we're even.
Corey, I've worked myself to the bone to support you ever since you were a baby.
Oh yeah? Like how? The way I see it, me and Sean are the only ones who have done any real hard work around here. Plus, I've been wanting to say this for a long time now, but you never went to community college. Where do you get off telling me and Sean that we have to get some super elite university?
But you boys have your father's blood in you. You're capable of much greater things. And I'll have you know that I could very easily have gotten into a prestigious university if I wanted to. It's just that, well, my family didn't quite have the financial resources is all.
That doesn't change the fact that you graduated from a community college. The only reason I've stayed quiet and done what you told me to until now is because I didn't really have anything in particular I want to do with my life. I figured I might as well get a solid academic record in the meantime, and I would eventually find my path later on. And now that I've graduated and know what I want, I don't have any reason to put up with your oppressive parenting anymore.
You're not going to start working until next month though, right? What are you going to do until then? Where are you going to live?
I'll figure something out. I worked part-time all this time, so I've got plenty of savings. And if all else fails, John has told me that I'm more than welcome to stay with him for as long as I need to.
Corey, dear, can we please talk about this? You see, I've used up almost all of your father's inheritance. I thought that once you graduated and got a good job that you could help support me. That's why I've poured everything into you and your education.
But again, I never asked you to do that. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Corey, wait. I understand that maybe I was a bit pushy in the past, but I can change. Please, Corey, you're the only person I can rely on. Hello there, Sean. It's been so long since we've talked. How are you doing these days, dear?
Huh? Mom?
What a relief. I was afraid you blocked my number.
I only kept your number in my contact list in case something happened with Corey.
You are such a considerate older brother, Sean.
So, what do you want? Whatever it is, make it quick. I got better things to do than shoot the breeze with you.
The truth is, I wanted to apologize to you.
Yeah?
You must have gone through so much because of me. I'm so sorry for kicking you out before you graduated from high school.
Let me take a wild guess at what's going on here. You're only contacting me now because Corey told you about me. Am I right?
No, I mean, yes. Corey did tell me about you and what you've done since we last spoke. But I wasn't planning to contact you at first. Then I read a few of those silly internet articles about you, and I immediately regretted the way I acted toward you. I should have been more supportive of you and your choices. It says here you were barely making ends meet for most of your time in college.
It was a miracle I was even able to attend school at all. Fortunately for me, some of Dad's old friends were kind enough to help me out when I needed it. Granted, I did my best to pay for everything myself, mind you. If it weren't for them, I never would have made it this far.
I'm so sorry, dear.
You don't need to be. Struggles of my youth are part of what made me what I am. I don't think of you at all anymore.
Listen, won't you come by the house one of these days? I'd love to have the chance to sit down and chat with you. I understand you're out of the country on business quite often, but you're at home now, right?
5 years ago, you told me that I was dead to you.
Oh, that? You can't hold me to that, Sean. I didn't mean it. I was just angry, that's all.
No, you definitely meant it. And if Corey never told you I was rich, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. If you actually felt bad about what you did, you would have made some kind of move to reconcile with me before now. But you didn't, did you? All you had to do was a simple internet search for my name, and you would have found out all you need to know. But you didn't even do that.
You have to understand, though. I never use the internet for news. It's full of misinformation. They talk about it on TV all the time.
It's whatever. I don't really care. Like I said, I don't need an apology. Nothing's gonna repair our broken relationship at this point.
But Sean, I desperately need your help.
Excuse me?
I poured every last cent of your father's estate into Corey, but now he's telling me that he won't live with me anymore. I don't have any money left to live on. What am I supposed to do from now on?
Sounds like a you problem to me, Mom. Dad left you tons of money. You should have been more careful with it.
I saw a picture of your house on the internet, Sean. It looks massive. It's probably 4 times as big as our house. I'll bet it's a terrible pain to have to keep it all neat and tidy. How about this? I'll move in with you, and in return, I'll do all your cleaning and cooking, too.
No thanks. After what you did to me, you still have the nerve to come crawling to me for help? Just when I think you couldn't disappoint me any more than you already have.
Sean, I beg you, I'm desperate. The house is starting to fall apart. There are all sorts of repairs I need to make. And you know how terrible inflation is these days. I did some math, and at this rate, I will be completely penniless by the end of next year.
Oh, then it sounds like you've got plenty of time. You're still in your 50s, right? You can work just fine.
But Sean, I've been nothing but a housewife for the last 30 years. What am I supposed to do for work?
I don't know. Well, you have to find something. It's either that or starve.
You've got plenty of money, don't you? I may not have been as motherly to you as I could have been, but you never wanted for anything as long as I was watching over you. Don't you feel any gratitude for that at all?
Yep, it's just as I thought. All you were after was my money.
I wouldn't be coming to you like this if I weren't in deep, deep trouble.
Okay, fine. I'll send you some money.
Really? You will? I always knew I could count on you. You're nothing like that younger brother of yours. He took all he could take from me and ran away. I should have known he'd turn out like this. He was such a greedy boy.
I'll send you the exact amount of money that you spent on my education. I'll even throw in some extra to cover food and other living expenses you paid for me.
What? You mean you're not going to give me a monthly allowance? Or cover the repairs to the house? That's all?
I'm not under any compulsion to give you any more. That's what you tried to get me to do 5 years ago, remember? I've decided that it actually seems like a pretty good deal. With this, you'll no longer be able to hold anything over my head ever again. Man, thank God I didn't rely on you for my college tuition. If I had, I would have to shell out way more money to cut ties with you.
Wait, Sean. That's not going to be anywhere near enough to cover my retirement expenses.
Is that my problem? Nope, it's yours. You have to take care of that yourself.
I gave birth to you, Sean. I fed you, clothed you, and housed you for almost 18 years. And you think you can repay me for all of that with just a little bit of money?
You should be grateful that I'm offering you that much. Don't forget, you were the one who disowned me. I don't have to give you anything at all. Would you prefer that?
I'm sorry for what I did to you, Sean. I was a terrible mother to you, I admit that. I should have been kinder to you. And I swear from now on, I'll be the kind of mother you deserve. So please, don't abandon me like this. In spite of everything that's happened between us, I'm still your mother.
You gave up that title 5 years ago when you told me, quote, "You're dead to me." Oh, as long as I'm using your words against you, here's another one. It's unfortunate things happen this way, but this is the path that you've chosen for yourself. My mom kept messaging me for a while after that to get me to change my mind, but I just ignored her. I was only in town for a few days, so I made sure to see my brother so we could catch up. He told me that he thinks he should be able to make it until his first paycheck with the money he saved up right now. But I wrote him a check anyway. It's the least I could do for him. After I left home, he had to bear the brunt of Mom's overbearing nature all by himself. I know it's not the kind of thing that can be fixed with just money, but I still wanted to help him in any way I could. As for our mom, she ran out of money much earlier than she expected and had to pick up a part-time job. I can only assume that she's keeping herself busy, because her texts to me and my little brother are going less and less frequent every day. Likewise, with each passing day, I can feel the burden of the expectations she had on me become lighter and lighter. I debated what to do about my mom for some time, but I can say for sure that cutting ties with her was the right decision.